Hello everyone, it's Red Saber here from Saber C++, and today we're going to be learning about how to use an IR receiver with various remotes. Let's get started. This is our IR receiver. As you can see, it has 3 pins and a simple IR receiver. When we press buttons on the remote, it'll use this. This is our IR receiver. As you can see, it has 3 pins on the back, which we'll use to communicate with our Arduino. I also have this remote here, which I'll be using to send signals to the receiver. As you can see, the remote has this little IR LED on top, and when you press buttons on it, it'll send out signals that will be received by this, and then understood by our Arduino. The way this communication works is by turning this LED on and off repeatedly for a certain length of time. In order to understand this communication, we'll download a library on our Arduino that will allow it to decipher those blinks into numbers, which we can then read for our program. This technology is the same way most TV remotes work, so you can write a program for using a TV remote like this in the same way I'm going to show you for this little Arduino remote. The wiring is very simple. First, I'll connect a black wire from this leftmost pin, which says minus on it, to one of the ground pins on the Arduino. Then I'll connect a red wire from this middle pin to the 5-volt port on the Arduino. And the last thing to do is connect this green wire from this top pin here, which has an S next to it for signal, to one of the digital pins on the Arduino. I'll use port 2. And that's all it is. Let's hop over to the computer and write our program. We've downloaded libraries from the internet before, but let's take a look at downloading them inside of the Arduino IDE. First, I'll go to Sketch, Include Library, and Manage Libraries, or use the Control-Shift-I shortcut, and then I'll search for the library I want. In this case, it's called IR Remote. Then I'll install it using the Install button. If you want a different version, you can also use this drop down here to select an older version. We'll also need to define a constant, which I'll call IR_rec, short for receiver, pin, that'll hold the pin that we connected the IR receiver to, in this case 2. In the setup function, we'll start up serial communication using serial.begin and passing in the baud rate, in this case 9600. We'll also need to begin the IR receiver using IR_receiver.begin and passing in the port of the IR receiver, which we just defined in this constant up above. In the loop function, we'll want to run an if statement that will check if the IR receiver has received any meaningful data that it's been able to decode. So we'll check if IR receiver.decode. Now this function will try to decode any data that the IR receiver has received, and if it succeeds, then we'll run the contents of this if statement. The first thing to do is to tell the IR receiver to go back to listening for new signals, which is done using the resume function. Then we'll print out the value that we received using the serial monitor. In this case, it's stored in IR receiver.decoded IR data, which was filled out in this decode function, .command. Let's try it out and see how it works. We'll also need to open up the serial monitor so we can see what the board sends us. As you can see, when we press different buttons on the remote, we get different numbers showing up in the serial monitor, which we'll be able to use in our program to determine which button is being pressed. Before we do that, if this video has been helpful to you so far, please give it a like so I can keep producing more. At the top, let's define some more constants that will allow us to more easily see which buttons have which numbers. As the Arduino is still connected, I can just press a button on my remote and see what number shows up. When I press down the power button, the number 69 shows up. So I'll define a constant called power button, and I'll set it to 69. I'll do the same thing for 3 more buttons as well. The menu button, a test button, and the back button. In the loop function, we'll still want to check if the IR receiver has been able to decode anything, and if it has, we'll still want to resume searching for signals. But instead of simply printing out the number, we're actually going to check if the number is one of these numbers, and if it is, print out the appropriate text. If it's not, then we'll still print out the number. To do this, we're going to use a switch statement, which basically works like a bunch of if and else if statements, but it's more streamlined and it can only be used on integers. In this case, we put in the integer that we'll be switching on, which is the IR receiver decoded IR data.command, which is what we were just printing out in the previous program. Now inside of the switch statement, we simply add cases. So we'll add a case for if it's the power button. So basically, This is the same as if we did an if statement where we said if the IR receiver.decoded IR data.command is equal to power button. So we'll create a case for power button, and inside of it we'll use the serial monitor. Go ahead and print out a line where we say power button pressed. We'll also want to break out of this case, which basically means that we ignore all of the other cases and go ahead on to the end of the switch statement. This is because it obviously can't be the power button and another button as well. So let's create another case, this one for the menu button. And inside of it, we'll print out menu button pressed. And once again, we'll break. We'll also add cases for the final two buttons. And we could do the same thing with defining constants and adding these cases for all of the other buttons if we wanted to as well. However, I'll just stick with these four for the purposes of this tutorial. The final thing I want to do is add a default case, which we simply put in the default keyword. And inside of this, we will print out unknown button pressed, because we don't know which button was pressed, with a colon, so that then we can print out the number of the button pressed, which will be a print line statement. So we go ahead and create a new line before whatever else is coming in the next loop. And there we go. Now we have cases for each of the buttons that we've set up, and we're printing out the number of the unknown button, which will make it easier if we want to go back and add more buttons later. Let's try it out. And there we go. If you've been following along, you should now see that for each of the buttons on the remote, it's printing out the correct texting or unknown button pressed and then the number if it's a button that we didn't set up. We can also connect IR LEDs to our Arduino and have it function like a remote. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to learn about some other Arduino sensors and modules, check out my channel, Saber C++. Thanks for watching.